Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be talking about the Stochastic RSI indicator. This one looks a little bit complicated, but once you guys understand it, it's one of the fastest ways to catch momentum shifts before they happen, and yes, even faster than the MACD. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up the Stochastic RSI, the best settings for day traders, swing traders, and long-term investors, and then show you guys when to buy into short with precision based off of what the indicator is telling you. So to get started here, I want you guys to go over to indicators, metrics, and strategies and just type in Stoch right here. After that, go to Stochastic RSI, not the plain stochastic. We'll have another video about that coming up. Now, exit out of here, and I want you guys to go over to settings, and this is where things get a little bit more fun. For the default here, for everything going forward, we're going to have to change these first. For the K, make it as thick as possible, the D as thick as possible. For the upper, middle, and lower bands, make these the third thickness. And then one little caveat here. If you guys find that if you have this on a small little chart in a corner, like you have 8 charts on your monitor or something like that, and you feel like you just can't see it too well, you can always change the color to white and it'll just pop a little bit more. If that's something you need to do, that's just an easy fix right there. So next up, we have to change some of these settings for day trading. So we're going to start off with day trading. I'll give you guys the settings. I'll tell you guys what indicators you want to pair with this, and then I'll tell you guys when to buy and to sell, and then we'll move over to swing trading, then long term, because they each have their own little rules, okay? So for the K and D, for the day trading one, you don't have to change these whatsoever. For the RSI length, I want you guys to make this 9, and for the stochastic length, I want you guys to make this 9 as well. For the RSI source, you need to keep this closed and everything else is going to remain the same. This is going to be what you use for 5-minute charts and 15-minute charts, and I guess you could say 10-minute charts as well. Primarily, I use this for 15-minute charts, but you can expand it and go a little bit outward of that if you would like. But for me, 15-5, primarily 15-minute charts. So when you guys are looking to buy this, and this is a 4-hour chart, or this is a weekly chart, so look a little bit differently. But the goal is to just say, hey, when you see that the blue line is crossing above the orange line, and that way, so you guys understand what I'm talking about, you see how the K is the blue, the D is the orange, you're mostly always watching the K line. When the K line crosses over the D, or for this example, the blue line crosses over the orange, that's typically going to be a bullish signal. We had one over here, and you see how the momentum was almost done falling, and we had that nice move up. Again, this is a 4-hour chart, a little bit different, but you guys get the point. The crossover happened over here, nice little momentum shift, and that's an easy way to look at it. When you're below this bottom quadrant right here, you're usually going to be in a buying zone typically. So if you buy around here, you can see it went up. You buy around here, it actually did go higher. Bought around here, it did go higher. Over here, it did go higher. Even over here right there, it did go a little bit higher. So that's usually a great opportunity if you just want to buy from the zones. But again, this is for day trading. So typically you're just going to be buying, having your stop loss, and then selling when you feel like you made enough profit. And to know exactly when you want to sell and maybe the best opportunities to buy, just so you're a little bit more consistent in the long run, I would recommend that you guys pair this with a VWAP, with most of you guys already know, especially if you guys are playing with like penny stocks or altcoins, really volatile stuff. You're really going to enjoy that VWAP, and you're really going to enjoy afterward that adding on some Bollinger bands. The Bollinger bands are going to help you figure out when to sell, and the VWAP is going to make sure that you understand, okay, everything is good for me to buy, and I can continue to hold once I've had the buy signal from the Stochastic RSI. So after all of that here, we're going to go back and we're going to change this to the default settings, or I should say the swing trading settings, right? So for this one, we go back to 14 and 14 for the RSI length and stochastic length. Again, the K and the D are going to be exactly the same, and this is your default settings. There is a reason this is the default ones that TradingView gives you, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Webull. There's a reason why these are the default, because this is meant for 4-hour charts and daily charts. They are absolutely fantastic. So the way you trade this is going to be a little bit different, to be honest. What you're looking for is usually a crossover, right? But you're looking for a crossover where the D line right here, that blue line, gets back above this bottom dotted section, okay? When that happens, you have momentum saying, okay, we're good to go, and you can ride those waves. For instance, right here, crazy volatility involved. You can see the cross happened right here. That all happened within that one day. Over here, again, cross happened right there. A good one-day little pop. One day over here, this was a multi-week pop, which is very good. You notice that there was one over here where it got back up. Good. This one worked out good. This one right here did not work out too well, just like the one we just talked about over here that got a little bit choppy. This one right here. And the reason for that is other volatility, other circumstances, you would say. But more often than not, a good chance of the time you're going to be making a profitable trade. The way you kind of mitigate those losing types of trades is to add a MACD to help you out, and then add a volume oscillator. So those two indicators on top of this will mitigate some of those bad signals that come along, because no indicator is 100% accurate. Otherwise, nobody would be using the MACD or the moving averages or the Fibonacci levels. Everybody would only be using the stochastic RSI. So it's not going to be 100% perfect, but with these other indicators, the MACD and the volume oscillator, it's going to make your life a lot easier. And then to finish things off here in terms of the stochastic RSI, the K and the D for the long-term investors are going to be exactly the same, but instead of 14, we're going to be moving these up to 21 and 21 here. So looking very good here. You can go over to a weekly chart and you'll see how this works out a little bit better as well. This one's a little bit interesting because when you're looking at grand charts, looking at months of data all at once, you have to be aware that there is these things called trend lines. Maybe you've heard of them. When you have a crossover and we haven't had a breakout and the momentum has shifted you back up, you are not going to be making those trades. For example, here with this trade for Bitcoin, from here to here, we have a trend line form that continued all the way over here for months. There's a crossover that happened right over here. You don't buy unless it breaks out. A crossover that happened right here that went bullish, you don't buy because you're at resistance. You can see a crossover that happened right here. Momentum is strong. You know it's strong. Momentum is still good. Then you have the breakout. As long as the momentum is strong and you had that crossover a while ago, you can still buy those moves, which will be fantastic. Here, another example, just so you guys can see, you have a clear level of resistance. You have the crossover happening right here. So you can buy at the crossover or you can wait for the momentum to shift. Either way, you're buying here or you're buying here, and you ride that wave and you're selling at that resistance. If the crossover happened over here, you're not buying until the breakout, all right? And by the time we got up here to this next breakout, you see how we were in overbought territory. So why would you buy in the overbought territory? It just doesn't make sense. All right, especially if you're doing a longer term swing trade here. So that's the basics of how to use an RSI. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below. If you guys are learning how to trade and you guys want to find the best cryptocurrency places to trade or the best places to trade your stocks, I got links down below that give you bonuses when you sign up. It's something I personally negotiated for you guys on my behalf. That way I don't get that much of a cut when you guys end up trading on them. I only get like I think a few percent, and then you guys get a rebate for it, which is pretty nice. That means any fees that you guys pay for leverage traders or option trades, stuff like that, it gets back to you, which I think is really awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will most likely be the regular stochastic indicator that'll help you guys just be a little bit more efficient, especially when paired with the MACD and the RSI indicators. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.